We're going.
Okay, we're going to explain to you a little bit about what the Penn State Manure Storage Ventilation Project is all about that we brought down here to AG CONNECT in Atlanta. Dave Hill and I are with Penn State University Department of Ag and Biological Engineering. And the primary goal of this project is demonstrating the proper way to ventilate a manure storage facility. And we're promoting during the show with our simulator. We're not selling anything, we're actually promoting positive ventilation systems for manure storage facilities. The model that we're using is scaled to an 80 by 40 by 10 foot manure pit with an 80 by 40 livestock handling or livestock housing area above it. And in this case, the demonstration we're doing uses a slotted floor. We also have the ability to do a solid floor demonstration. So what Dave has done, he's turned on what we call our theater fog machine, just to put some fog in the manure pit area underneath the livestock housing area. Typically these manure gases are odorless and colorless and you can't see them. So the fog is there to help you see how the air actually moves and starts to move the contaminated air out of the manure storage pit. The gas that we're using simulates very closely with hydrogen sulfide. And what you start to see in the LED displays at the top, and we have 3 of them here, that are also linked to the hydrogen sulfide sensors that are located in the simulator. One of the sensors is located in the center on top of the slotted floor. The other 2 are located left and right in the manure pit, and they're measuring in parts per million the level of hydrogen sulfide that's currently being found down in the pit. So as you can see over top of my left shoulder, this sensor on this side is measuring close to 740 parts per million of hydrogen sulfide in the pit, and the one on the right side above Dave is up around 770 parts per million. We know this, that above 100 parts per million of hydrogen sulfide, the hydrogen sulfide becomes odorless. It paralyzes your sense of smell, and you can't actually smell the hydrogen sulfide. And from time to time, that will actually lull a farmer to sleep, thinking that it's safe to get down into that pit to retrieve possibly a tool that's fallen in there, or to also work on an agitator that's that needs some type of repair. So you have individuals going into these pits. Dave, if you want to put the ladder down, we'll show you. We can actually simulate an individual going into the pit. So if there they go down into the pit area, as they get down into the 700 parts per million, the person passes out after they've taken a couple breaths, and there they are unconscious on the floor in the manure slurry, in the manure pit, in a very dangerous situation. It is not safe for anybody to enter that pit to rescue that person unless they're wearing a self-contained breathing apparatus. The other thing we'd like to show you is Dave has a handheld monitor. This is what this person should have used first before entering the pit, a handheld gas monitor to determine the level of hydrogen sulfide inside this pit before ever entering it to do any type of work down inside the pit. So Dave's going to take this, he's going to insert the probe on the handheld monitor. As he inserts the probe down in by where the victim is now lying in the manure pit, as he inserts that down in there, there's an audible alarm on this handheld gas monitor. It's a very portable system, and this would have been the thing that this individual should have used well before they go down into a pit. There's the audible sound. Hopefully you were able to pick that up. It's very clear and audible to us out here on the outside of our model. That indicates that that atmosphere inside that pit is not safe for entry. The other thing we'd like to do then is turn on our fan system, and we'll watch here as we effectively try to remove the contaminated air from the pit and from the upper barn area. You can see possibly on your camera screen now that some of that gas is getting up into above the slotted floor where there may be workers, there may be animals up there. And you could run into a very tragic situation. And if you look up at the center LED display, you can see the parts per million of hydrogen sulfide have increased rapidly above the floor now. They're climbing up over 300 parts per million. It's a very dangerous situation for the livestock. Our recommendation is that if you know that the gas level in the pit is that high, and it's going to create levels higher than 80 parts per million above the slotted floor, the animals should have been out of that livestock confinement building well before the pit ventilation and before the agitation began.